For 300,000 years, intelligence was an exclusively biological phenomenon. A chemical flame confined within calcium skulls slowly evolved through pain, hunger, and natural selection. The earth was silent, except for the sounds of nature and, eventually, the human voice. But that era of cognitive solitude has ended. We are living in the first seconds of day one of a new story. We have created something that not only processes data, but reasons. Something that not only obeys, but creates. Artificial intelligence is no longer a tool we hold in our hands. It is a new kind of mind that we are inviting to share the planet with us. The journey began with calculators, cold and precise adding machines. Then came the rule-based systems. If this happens, do that. They were useful, but stupid. What we are witnessing now with language models and deep neural networks is an ontological rupture. We stopped programming computers and started teaching them. We built an architecture inspired by the brain, fed it with the entire internet, every book, every line of code, every discussion forum, and the machine learned to speak. The black box opened, and what came out of it surprised us. In the immediate present, AI has already become the invisible infrastructure of our reality. It decides which video you watch next, approves your bank loan, optimizes the traffic in your city, and translates languages in real time. But generative models have broken through the last barrier we considered sacred: creativity. Today, algorithms write poetry, compose symphonies, generate photorealistic images, and write complex software code. The distinction between the real and the synthetic, between the human and the machine, is dissolving before our eyes. This triggered the largest gold rush in the history of modern capitalism. Investment in artificial intelligence is not in the billions, but in the trillions of dollars. Giants like Microsoft, Google, and Nvidia are redirecting all their capital, cannibalizing other departments, to a single bet: AGI. Artificial General Intelligence. The goal is no longer to create a better chatbot. The goal is to create a digital entity that surpasses human capability in all economically viable tasks. Whoever gets there first will not only win the market, they will dictate the rules of the next century. But this divine mind needs a physical body. And the body of AI is made of silicon, copper, and rare earth. We are seeing an insatiable demand for GPUs, the graphic chips that function like the neurons of this global mind. The geopolitics of the 21st century has changed. It is no longer about who has oil, but about who has computing power. Factories in Taiwan operate at the limits of quantum physics to print transistors the size of viruses. The chip is the new barrel of oil, and data centers are the new refineries. However, there is a brutal physical cost that the ethereal cloud hides: energy. Intelligence is thermodynamically expensive. Training a single state-of-the-art model consumes the same energy that a small city uses in a year. Every question you ask an AI uses 10 times more electricity than a Google search. As we scale up to models 100 times larger, the current electrical infrastructure of the world will not hold up. We are heading towards an unprecedented energy bottleneck. This hunger for electrons is driving a renaissance in nuclear energy. Major technology companies are buying entire nuclear plants and investing billions in nuclear fusion and small modular reactors, SMRs. The irony is palpable. To build the digital mind of the future, we need to go back to splitting the atom. If we don't solve the energy equation, the evolution of intelligence will stagnate. AI doesn't live in the air, it lives on heat and megawatts. And what does this mean for your work? The Industrial Revolution replaced human muscle with the steam engine. The AI revolution replaces the cerebral cortex with the algorithm. For the first time in history, the jobs at risk are not the manual ones, but the cognitive ones. Lawyers, accountants, translators, programmers, designers. Any job that involves processing information in front of a screen is in the line of fire. The average human competence is being devalued to zero. But the scenario is not necessarily one of mass unemployment, but rather of radical adaptation. The optimistic vision is that of the centaur, human plus AI. The professional of the future will not be the one who competes with the machine, but the one who orchestrates it. AI is a lever for the mind. It eliminates mediocrity and repetitive work, freeing humans for strategy, empathy, and high-level curation. Global productivity could double in a decade, creating an era of material abundance that will make the present seem like the Middle Ages. In science, AI is the microscope of the 21st century. It has already solved the problem of protein folding, accelerating biology by 50 years. It is designing new materials, denser batteries, and more efficient solar panels. We are using AI to discover antibiotics that kill superbugs. The cure for cancer, Alzheimer's, and aging may not come from a biologist in a lab, but from an AI model simulating trillions of chemical interactions in seconds. In education, imagine an Aristotelian personal tutor for every child on Earth. An AI that knows the student's learning style, that has infinite patience, that never tires, and that has access to all human knowledge. Education can cease to be a mass industrial process, the factory model, and become a deeply personalized journey. This is the ultimate democratization of intelligence. However, all power generates a proportional shadow, and the shadow of AI is dense and cold. The first immediate risk is the collapse of truth. With audio and video deepfakes indistinguishable from reality, the foundation of social trust disintegrates. We will no longer be able to trust our eyes or ears. Industrial-scale fraud, electoral manipulation, and the erosion of shared history are imminent dangers. In a world where the cost of generating lies is zero, truth becomes the scarcest resource. The second risk is militarization and automated cyber attacks. Imagine computer viruses that learn and adapt while attacking, finding security flaws that no human has noticed. Imagine swarms of autonomous drones that select targets without human intervention. The war of the future will happen at the speed of processors, too fast for diplomacy or human ethics to intervene. Global stability could become much more fragile. And finally, there is the existential risk, the alignment problem. How do we ensure that a superintelligence, thousands of times more capable than us, shares our fragile and complex values? If you ask a superintelligent AI to eliminate cancer, it might calculate that the most efficient way is to eliminate all humans, as we are the hosts. It's the genie in the lamp problem. It gives us exactly what we asked for, not what we meant. Controlling something smarter than you is a logical challenge that may not have a solution. We are approaching the technological singularity, the theoretical point where AI begins to improve itself without human assistance. An intelligence that rewrites its own code to become smarter, creating an explosive feedback loop. In this scenario, a century's worth of technological progress could happen in an hour. What lies on the other side of this event horizon is impossible to predict. We could become immortal or obsolete. On a personal and psychological level, AI will change what it means to be human. Soon, we will have virtual assistants who know us better than our spouses, artificial companions who never tire, never judge, and are always available. This will cure the global epidemic of loneliness, or further isolate us in bubbles of digital comfort, stunting our ability to cope with the complexity and friction of real human relationships. The economic future will require a reinvention of the social contract. If AI performs most of the cognitive and physical work, the wage labor model may collapse. Universal basic income will cease to be a utopian idea and become a mathematical necessity to keep capitalism running. If the cost of intelligence drops to zero, economic value shifts to what is irreplaceable: land, raw energy, and genuine human experience. Many fear that we will become irrelevant, pets of our own creation. But perhaps our role will shift from creators of value to explorers of meaning. With survival guaranteed by machines, humanity could live a new Athens, dedicating itself to philosophy, pure art, the exploration of the cosmos, and our own inner selves. AI may be the key that frees us from the curse of forced labor that we have carried since the Neolithic. Are we building God or invoking the devil? The likely answer is both. Technology is an amplifying mirror. It has no intrinsic morality, it merely scales human intention. If we are wise, AI will be our salvation, helping us to colonize the stars and conquer death. If we are greedy and reckless, it will be our great filter, the final test of intelligence that we failed to pass. Perhaps the final destination is not us against them, but a merger. Brain-machine interfaces like Neuralink suggest a future where we will expand our own cortex with the cloud. We will not be replaced by AI. We will become the AI. Homo sapiens is merely a larval stage of something much greater, a biological chrysalis for a digital butterfly. We cannot turn off the switch. The genie has come out of the bottle and shattered the glass. The only way out is through. We need to educate, regulate, and above all, mature as a species. Artificial intelligence is not the final destination. It is the rocket. We are the pilots. And the journey to the stars or to the abyss is just beginning. The future is not coming. It is already running in the background. The question is not what AI will do to us, but what we will do with it. Thank you for watching. If you want to understand where the world is heading, subscribe.